Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology weekend forecast for the weekend of June 7th, 8th, and 9th, 2013. I'm astrologer David Palmer, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, we have so much to talk about. We got a big, powerful new moon on Saturday. Friday, Neptune will have gone retrograde. And over the weekend, Sunday, we have a glimpse of what your future is going to be like. Yes, that's right. We also have this big grand trine that's happening with Venus now at the center of it all. And we've got the Mercury, which is opposing Pluto. I mean, we have... let's try and get to the real stuff here, or at least the real talk. I know I'm talking a lot of astrology, but this weekend brings a lot to talk about. Friday, the moon finally comes into Gemini, so I really think you need to pay attention to Friday because your emotions are going to come right over Mars, and this is where the Mars-Neptune square is, and it's exact now. And there's all these things happening while we have this new moon that's clicking into gear. But this is right before we click. I don't know if you ever have one of those easy ups, you know, we're at the last click, which is Saturday. So Friday, don't try and just put it up, the easy up and sit underneath it and think, you're here and you've done it all, or whatever that you're trying to do. I think that we could be forced to try and make a move on Friday, which doesn't get the last click in. And I think that you need to really pay attention to this. I think there's going to be a will to want to go, to just jump the gun Friday and to just go do something, when really I think you need to wait and drop anchor in the boat on Saturday when the new moon happens and there is the new energy coming in. And I think once your emotions, which are going to be very powerful on Friday, I think as we're ready to come into the weekend, it's just like, yeah, do it, go. You know, it's just crazy Gemini, right? Woo! And we've got Venus, which is making the perfect grand trine. So relationships, I mean, this is like, hallelujah, crazy relationships coming your way. You got to pay attention to them, what's happening in, out, new ones coming in, old ones coming out. This is like fate, karma. God is pulling a huge lever. Weep! On Friday with Neptune retrograde of huge spiritual fate, wham. And it's connected with your truth. It's connected with relationships, so pay attention. And also, you know, your drive, your ambitions, your goals right now. I think it's so important to see that this is kind of where things really come together for some people, and this is where things close so you can get to where you need to go. So there's a huge close, but a huge open. It's a lot like a floodgate going bam, or floodgate closing for some. I think that this can be important to mention. And what I think it's important to mention that our minds are going to oppose Pluto throughout the whole weekend. And as Venus is getting ready too, and there's so much of the past we're having to purge. There's so much of fears that we have to let go of, emotional fears. Geez, let go. Are we going to pour concrete on those emotions and keep them in a time capsule that we have to check in with every day? Hell no, mother effer. No, we don't want that. No, we want to make sure that we have the right feelings. And I think that we need to get our expressions out to our relationships. I think we need to start to let it all out of how we feel. It's time for a big purge for so many people right now. I think it's time for you to let that out. I think it's time for you to be aware of what the circumstances you're in right now in your life and pay attention. I don't think it's weird to have certain people that have come in and certain people who have come out. That's not weird, that's normal. That's what this kind of event brings. And I brought up yesterday that the concrete's being poured. I think that you have, by Saturday, that concrete's poured. Friday is the adjusting of it before the click. So some people might try to come in at the last ditched effort. You need to ask yourself if you're making the right move. I think that we're all pressured into a move Friday. Like, is this the right call? Everything's trying to rearrange for everything just concreting and really just wham in our lives. Just whoo! This will be a week that we come into where it's time to go, baby. It's time to really ride this little wave out. There's a big wave that just came in right now, you know? I'm a body surfer guy, you know? Like, the only way that you ride the wave is you don't just try and just ride it. You have to go with it and wait till that last second that it sucks you up to fall down. You can always see the people that suck at the beach because they're like kicking and they're overdoing it and they're, oh my God. And I think that the Friday, you get ready for the wave because it's gonna come on Saturday. So get your spot in the wave, get in the tube right. You know, it's this, I don't know if you've ever ridden waves, but it's a feeling, it's an intuitive feeling, and we're stepping into that intuitive wave of where we're gonna go right now. And so Friday, don't over jump it, because then you'll be stuck at the wrong part of the wave and it'll just crash on you and you won't get a good ride. You want a good ride? I know you want a good ride. I like good rides in all shapes and fashions. Now, it's about making sure on Sunday, I brought up the future. Yes, we're coming into the future. The future is here on Sunday, because the moon comes in to Cancer. And by the way, I have one more thing to mention. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. There's been a lot going on in my life, but I want to give you as much as I can. And there's so much to talk about. It's like a circus. It's like, okay, what act do I bring out? It's like, and I got the whole show here. I got all the pigs out. If I want pigs flying, we want pigs to fly. I got them. But we have to pay attention to the moon. Then comes over Jupiter after the new moon. So I'm telling you, this weekend you'll remember. This weekend is a high moment, a very exciting moment, a very optimistic moment. And this new moon is close to Jupiter. So there's this big unveiling coming here in the next week and a half. And I think this is leading all up to it, that the events that are leading up to your life right now are fated and destined and ready for you to follow your intuition and ready for the fate. And it's all trying to connect you to your truth. So if you're going through crazy crap and it's horrible right now, then you got a peace. You got a peace, you got to let go. You got to make sure that you go into the right destiny, into the right fate. And that's what this is all about, going into the right fate. But Sunday, the moon comes into Cancer and is going to get ready to come into this big kite that we're in and all these grand all this stuff. And I think that Sunday is the vision of the future, the vision of what your life will be like. I think that the feelings that you have, the circumstances, but pay attention to how you feel, because that's what the summer is going to be like for you. This is starting to test those waters heavily. And the moon's going to come into this grand trine, which is now with Neptune Retrograde. And I think you feel what the fate is on Sunday, Monday. Sunday, Monday is like, oh yeah, this is it. We're clicked, the easy up's up. It's all here. We're joining it. We're in it. Oh yeah, this is where life is. And these are what the circumstances you're dealing with. And the concrete's poured, baby. And I just got to be real. The concrete's poured. So, for those that have been paying attention, it's been a long time coming for this concrete to pour. For those that are just like, oh my God, I'm not happy with what position I'm at, and the concrete got poured on me. It's like, well, did you pay attention in the last 6 months? Because it's like, and actually, did you pay attention to the last year? What were you doing? So we're closing a huge chapter here, which is Jupiter in Gemini, which closes on the 18th, 19th, and all that. So as the sun passes by it. So this is what it's all leading up to. I hope that you've been put in the right position. I hope that destiny is working for you. I'd love to look at your chart and see where it's all going and what events have come in your way. That we're done with the eclipses. I'm telling you, this is a weekend where the concrete really pours and we really see where it takes us, and it's an exciting one. And make sure you have fun this week, and make sure you keep an open mind. Make sure that you're not in a bad attitude. Make sure that you find your true emotions and that you allow the fate and the moves to be arranged on Friday. Make a move that's coming from compassion. Make a move that really takes in consideration how you feel, not what seems logically right. I think that the universe is going to try to rearrange the chessboard here on Friday. Make sure you make the right move. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com, if you want a one-on-one reading with me. Check it all out. Next week, I have some new stuff coming out. Check it all out. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys. Make sure you meditate on the new moon, too, to make sure that you broadcast everything that you want, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.